Yeah, so Kintwana Kokasi grew up in Soweto. Um, both parents were teachers. I went to Malvern Primary, played rugby. I mean, good childhood, no problems. Yeah, then funny enough, I played soccer. How can I go na lady? They still call me Pashi. Yes, and then obviously I came to St Stithians and played rugby. I grew up playing soccer, but yeah, well, and then obviously I interchanged in primary school, and then rugby just took over for some reason. It wasn't a choice. I didn't say I consciously decided I want to, it just became a permanent fixture more than the football, and then I just left soccer.
How do you go from one thing to system? How does that transition?
Yeah, interesting. So I actually don't even know who saw me, but I actually played Craven Week, and then at that point I got a couple of offers. So it was St Stithians, it was St John's at that time, it was your Becker, it was a couple of schools, and I then came to St Stithians. So
How does that work? Paint a picture for me. Like, how do they do it? Do they call you father?
no, not even my father. They actually spoke to my coach.
Yeah.
Mr. Botma, who at that point, they spoke to him, and obviously he comes up and he says, "Listen, the school wants to see you. The school so and so wants to see you." And then I actually came and spent a week, well, a day, slept over at St Stithians. I did my entrance exam. But there were guys obviously before me from Malvern, like you say, who had been here. So it made it easy.
Did you understand what was happening?
No.
Like in your little.
No.
When I should be like when you're young.
No, absolutely. I'll check absolutely nothing.
What do you make of it?
Absolutely. It's a school.
Yeah.
I got a bursary. As to how big it is,
Yeah.
no. The magnitude of it. The magnitude of schools wanting me. It was like, okay, it's a school.
Yeah. So you first arrived with Aliman.
It was a couple of us.
Yeah.
So there were three of us from Malvern four of us who played Cricket Week. Yeah. We all came, slept over. We think we slept over at Collins at that time. And yeah, guys watched Saints play, we played K's. But still, it didn't click how big this thing was, right? It didn't. No, nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's massive. It was a privilege. I still say one of the only things I've got from my school days is my 50th jersey.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've got. I've kept it. No, I haven't reframed it. So yeah, it's one of the few things I still have. It was a blessing to play for the first side, especially at grade 10. I had people know me. It was almost like a celebrity. I was like, God, I don't understand how big this thing, right? And I only understood the magnitude when I walked down and we were playing St. John's. There's 20,000 people. You can't see the field. You think, yeah, guys, this is a schoolboy game. I've never seen that in my life. And that's when one got to understand it. Then you play at festival, 40,000 people. It's massive. It's massive. And then you talk to all boys that have played. You realize you're not only playing for yourself. It's a legacy. It's a legacy that you're playing for. So, no, it was a massive privilege for me to play in the white jersey.
Does that impact how you are as a school? Obviously, you're a celebrity. Does it change somehow in hindsight? Obviously?
Yeah, you play in grade 10. I mean, it does breed arrogance. Yeah, and obviously, and that's part of learning, right? That's part of growth. And first couple of games I got dropped in grade 11. I didn't get dropped the whole season, but yeah, got dropped a couple of games, and I had to work my way. Parents, peers, some of them are put on this massive pedestal that I never even thought a child could be put like that, right? Superstar. Okay. Yeah, so it's quite interesting, but I guess it's the times in which we live in. Yeah.
So how great here? What's the plan for afterwards? Is it are you in your head thinking professional rugby?
At that point, yes. Yeah. And then I went into club rugby. Played a couple of years club rugby. Then I realized, these boys that are coming up, They are quicker, faster,
Yeah.
stronger. So yeah. And then funny enough, I was actually in my head, should I continue playing or should I not? And then my fourth coach now, Walter, he was running a club in Queen there in 4As, and he asked me to be the second team coach. And ever since it's been coaching. So I stopped. Literally, it was a decision. He literally said that. I said to him, Walter, I'm not sure if I want to play. And he said, why don't you come coach the second? It was an instant, yes, let's go.
Do you have any regrets?
No.
In that decision, do you think you could have gone all the way?
No. And I'm being honest. I was very talented. I didn't have the work ethic.
Oh,
No. I'll put my hand up to say probably one of the most talented tens around that point, but not enough work ethic.
It's something that came easy to you.
Yes,
the game especially.
100%, not things.
Yeah.
The game, my understanding of the game. I studied the game, and I became good. I practiced, but at some point, I thought it's coming easy. Didn't work on my body. Didn't work gym. Yeah. So that's why I never thought I could. At that point I knew this is it. No regrets. And then I was doing Rugby Kids, but the headmaster at that point, Mr. Knowles, he and Mr. Rickleton. So I came to watch a game here, and Dave asked me, "How's Rugby Kids going?" And it's almost like I don't expect someone to know, right? I don't expect that Dave Knowles, the school headmaster, to know how's it going. He says, no, you must think about coming back. And then I just left it. And then 2017, Ian called me to say, but we're trying to get all boys back. Would you be keen to come back? And I said, 100%. 2017, came back, started here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And you start as?
I'm starting as a backline consultant. I'm echoing the same message. That's all. And against a good Kearsley side, then we're on the other side of this result, right, Gabe? Because we've lost. Now we've let 28 points down. And a good side, we're on the other side of this. They've come back, and now we're on the other side of this victory. Let's just think about that. Right.
I'm Happy Shihau. I'm married to Thoriso Shihau. We've been together, I think it's 16 years. And we've got 2 daughters, Vatanya Shihau and Francis Shihau, age 10 and 6, turning 7 respectively. Hard work, in summary. No, I think we've had our challenges, but I think it's been beautiful to do life with him and to journey with him. Obviously, rugby is a very big part of who he is. So it's been a very interesting journey around how do I incorporate myself and the children into this world of his, because we come from 2 different worlds, and rugby isn't necessarily who I am, but it's definitely who he is. And because he spends a lot of his time doing it, it's a 24/7 kind of gig. So it became very evident quite earlier on that if you want to spend a little bit of time with this man, you need to incorporate yourself and the kids in it. Because if I didn't, would have a different type of marriage. And it's a marriage that we both want to ensure that it works. So it's been amazing. It's been fun. We share a lot of laughs. We share a lot of tears. We share a lot of fights. But at the end of it all, I think we both are better people looking from where we started off to where we are. Patience is probably the biggest one. Be selfless, because it is a selfless journey to support someone in this career, in this field. It's a very, very challenging, and also historically it's been dominated by a certain type of race. So to also come in as a person of color into something that was never really ours, comes with its own dynamics. And then to have, certain positions such as head coach, You've got a lot of skeptics in the audience, in the background. You've got people that are vouching for you. You've got people who are looking to you to be the example of what we can be. So you're carrying a lot, even though you didn't ask for it. So you have to absolutely be selfless. It's not about you. It's about your person, and it's about being the number one cheerleader. And then thirdly, I think it's love. Learn to love the game. Learn to understand the game. Because if you love it, it makes it that much easier. And then it's a seamless transition and living of life. It doesn't feel like hard work. It doesn't feel like a job. So you want it to be effortless.
So it's been an interesting one this week, because we've just, usually it's us saying, boys, doing this, This week it's them. We put it on them, and I've got a leadership group, and Kia was the one saying, guys, we haven't been at our best.
Okay.
And it was quite interesting. Charlie and I sort of pulled back to say, let's not say anything. And in the group, you could see they understand what they're doing wrong. They understand what they need to do right. And it was refreshing to see, So these are boys who are cognizant of what's happening. They're keen. They want to play. They want to get it right. So, and for me, that's all I can ask. I've got a very good leadership structure. And the boys understand what they're doing wrong, and the fact, the word you say, accountability, for me is key. They're taking accountability for their team, and they want to move forward. I mean, the first side doesn't have an excuse. The first side must go and play. It's as simple as that. They must come out there and play. They cannot expect to just pitch up and not play.
Yeah.
They must earn it.
Okay.
It's not a given right that they must win. They must come out and they must earn it.
So I coached under 2018. I coached the under 14s. 2015, I then coached 2019. I then coached the under 15, so I went up with my team. Yeah, and then 2020, that was a COVID year, funny enough. The guy who was first team coach, he had ground ball. He actually said, listen, I want you to come work for the second team. I worked with Grant, and then season shut before first game. And Grant left, went to Michael's house with a couple of more staff leave at Michael that went, not different schools. 2021, I was then asked to be MIC of rugby, master in charge of rugby. And then, I took over that position. Still second team. I said, I don't... Then Charlie came over. He took over then 2021. He was then first team coach. 2021, it was Charlie, Philip Kuhn and Mark Adams. And then Mark left. And Charlie says, but you have to come coach the first team. And then I was obviously assistant coach at that point, backline coach and skills. And 2022, 2023, and then 2024, appointed head coach.
Okay.
So basically, this is my first year as head coach. Yeah.
And you're coming into a tough environment.
Very tough environment.
Yeah.
Very tough. There's an expectation. Yeah. Irrespective of where the team has been, there is an expectation. And
Why is it?
I'm not sure.
I mean, someone would say it's just the school.
I'm not sure.
It's the Schoolboy Rugby.
Oh no, Schoolboy Rugby is massive in South Africa. It's big. I would say Schoolboy Rugby Varsity Cup is one of the reasons we've managed to win 2 World Cups, right? If you look at Varsity Cup, the number of players that have won the World Cup that have played Varsity Cups is a lot, right? And these are players that didn't play Craven Week. So Varsity Cup does give that opportunity, that hidden gem that you don't find at school, right? And so our Schoolboy Rugby is probably the biggest in the world in terms of how big it is. Now you find it streamed. Now you find it on TV. It's massive.
And that's what it is, Kleno. We'll fix it. You guys understand? All right. We're getting a bit too flat on attack again. All right. We're running a bit too flat. Let's keep it. Get some depth and let's play our passes. All right, SJ, you're overrunning a little bit, but don't fill in this. Okay? Mm-hmm. Keep the energy. You understand, okay? We're dropping in bits. We need to get it up. I'm talking. Just wait. We need to get it up. All right? And then we play in the right areas. You see? Keep controlling. Keep controlling. As is. Every time we've kicked, they've scored. All right, boys. Okay, we put these oaks under pressure. Okay. We just need to know, put the screen and score tries. Yes?
James.
I promise you. Gentlemen, calm heads. Calm heads. Okay. Calm heads. Okay, let's go, boys. Let's go. We have another half. Let's have another half. Let's go, boys.
There's obviously a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I embrace it, right? I wouldn't have taken the job if I didn't think I could do it. I think I'm equipped to do the job. I think, however, I still say, and I say this to a lot of old boys, I'm not the messiah. This is a process, and I'm process driven, right? Me coming into my first year doesn't mean I'm going to win every game, and we've seen, right? We started very well, and we sort of on a dip, but we must get up. We must keep working.
Yeah. And you said you want to win.
Pardon?
You want to win.
I want to.
Yeah.
Every week.
But you're not.
Every week. Yeah. So I've lost 2 on the trot.
Yeah.
I don't mind losing, but it's in the manner in which we lose. So last week's game was quite tough on me. I thought there was no effort. We lost because we thought we just have to pitch and win. And I thought that was disappointing. Yeah. We want to pick schools. We want to, if we had to play St John's tomorrow, you'd see a different team, right? And I'm saying, why don't we have the same attitude for every school? If you had to play St Andrews, you'd see a different team. So we can't pick and choose how we play. And after that St Andrews victory, obviously we're a target. Teams want to beat us. Yeah, and they'll work hard. So if you don't bring it every week, then you won't get the results. So last week's game was particularly hard on me, purely because of the way we lost. We shouldn't have lost that game. Again, yesterday we lost, but we left opportunities on the field. I mean, like I said to you, I went and reviewed the game this morning. There were 4 tries that we should have finished, which we didn't. So we must own that and we must move on. Yesterday's game, we didn't play badly. We really didn't play badly. We played well. We had a couple of injuries that obviously disorganized us, but that's part of the game. So that's where we are. We got another one. That's it. The beauty of sport is that there's another opportunity on Saturday to go fix it.
I think what people don't actually realize is what happens in the background. It's the prep before then. It's trying to come up with the order of play. It's pulling together fixtures. It's having networks and connections within the rugby industry. It's about understanding the boys. It's about thinking about the well-being of the boys. Again, you see the boy. It's not just a rugby player or a jersey number. There's a psyche to them. There's wellness to them. There's emotional well-being. There's mental well-being. There's physical well-being. So it comes with a lot. And what the coaches do in the back end is actually to catch all of that. And they try deal with the boy in their different facets and to make sure that you're looking after the whole and not a part of. So it's a lot to see that at play in the back end, because I need to be that woman in his life that catches all of it. So before, a Saturday big game, the guy's been working on it from the last Saturday of the game previous to that week. So it actually doesn't stop, and it continues. They'll play a game on a Saturday. Immediately after that, he's replaying that game that they were playing. And it's like, dude, we just watched this thing live, but he's watching it with a different lens to understand the game, to understand the formation, to understand if it came together as they practice, to understand where the gaps are, to understand where they trip themselves up. So those are learnings that he then takes into the week, heading up or leading up to the next game. So there's all of that. And he must still be a father. He must still be a husband. He must still be an educator. He must still look after the boys in the boarding house. So he's also sort of juggling a lot of balls. So you need to be very patient. You need to be very understanding of the why you are in his life and the what you need to be at that point in time. To be able to support him a lot better, you need to understand what's this thing that he's doing. So when he's talking about a number 10 and a number 2 and forwards and line outs, I can't be like not understanding, because then like, why are you there type thing. So it's again that love, wanting to understand. But I myself am a sport lover. I mean, I play touch rugby myself, so I do understand the world a little bit, so I'm not coming in not understanding what it is and the dynamics. So yes, I know a little bit pre and post Shihau. So yeah.
These young guys, they're still growing. So how do you guys manage that process? There's loss, you spoke about the pressure, expectation. But the guy is still just 17. So the dances, the dolphins, they've got puberty. There's a lot happening. Right? And it can't just be about that.
100%.
So in those moments, especially the tough moments, what's your guys' approach to ensuring that the psyche and the emotions of these young guys stay intact?
Yeah, so it's very important. So I mean, I chatted to Charlie today to say we maybe need to look at bringing a psychologist. We've got a school sports psychologist. She's on leave, but we have to look at bringing her in because I believe winning's a habit, and so is losing.
Yeah. And this man wants a jersey, and a few other guys want a jersey. So if you haven't lived at your standard that you set for yourself, you're going to go in every game for seconds. Simple as that. And earn it back. Is that fair? Let's stick together with mates today. Right. I know I'm going to, because I need it. Good. Hard luck, gents. Hard luck. Let's go and fix this up and come back. We've still got a fucking ahead of us. We can't let this be the end of it, eh? We've seen that movie, okay? Where we've had one after another after another. We know that movie's over, Brit. Anything? Good. And there were some fantastic performances. I think this man was outstanding today, eh? All right.
So I don't want them to get into that habit. And rugby plays a big role in their life, but they need to understand they are scholars first. I'll work everything around their school work, and I'll take pressure off them, right? I'll go deal with the old boys. I'll go deal with the other outside pressures. It's not for them to take it. The long and short of it is that these are 17, 18-year-olds doing their best. And even though I wasn't happy with the effort last week, no boy goes out on that field to go lose. And that's how I do it. I have to shield them from everything, because they put in their bodies on the line week in, week out, and it's more than I can ask. Yeah.
And that for you, the win is a parent coming to you and saying, you know what, this guy,
100%.
really get him out of the
100%.
So to you, it means way more.
100%. We often say to parents, the aim here is to create better men out there who will add value to society. Right? That boy who's not doing his homework, I can use rugby as a catalyst to say, but that is not all. Right? That boy who doesn't want to listen, that boy who doesn't wake up. Right? Rugby is a catalyst. I've seen a change in boys where parents have said, how did you manage to get him to wake up at 5 o'clock to come to rugby practice? He doesn't want to wake up. So yeah, it's bigger than the game. It's bigger than. But we will use rugby as a catalyst to teach them things about life, right? You're not going to win every game. You win graciously. You go shake your opponent's hand. I don't care how bad we lose. You go shake the other coach's hand to say thank you. And that's it. We will greet every single parent. I don't care who you see. So those are lessons those are life lessons. They're not rugby lessons. And I'll use rugby to enforce it.
And these young guys on scholarships, that's something that's close to our heart. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you are there. You are the person that has been in that. Why is that so important to you that you guys handle it differently from how it's been done in the past?
Yeah, so it's important. So you don't want to bring a boy here and make him feel like one to make him he doesn't feel part that he belongs. I think that for me that's very important.
I will never, and I hate it. It will never happen in my time where a scholarship boy gets told, you're in scholarship, therefore do this. That doesn't work, right? In my time, a scholarship boy, if we're going on tour, we'll make sure they've got money when we stop for food, because then I don't want him to feel that I don't have. He's sitting in the bus. That's not the intention. The intention is to give a boy an opportunity. Every single opportunity, and he must feel like he's part of it. So that's very important for me.
It's very interesting because, like I said, we've got 2 girls. So this boy thing is new for me and different. And they come as teenagers. So I find myself being an extension of their mothers at time, especially the boys that play rugby and are also in the boarding house. So they're very far away from their parents. So when there's an injury, how do you show up? How do you make sure they're okay? When we have a braai at the house, we invite the boys, they come chow, we have something to eat. So you play that role. If they need something, there's a rugby tour and they need snacks or they need money for the trip, you make sure they're okay. So you really become very mindful that you're responsible for another human being's child. And that's quite a big responsibility to carry on your shoulder. And by extension of Thoriso being their coach, he also plays quite a pivotal role in their lives and is contributing to their upbringing and ultimately who they become as men. So you equally want to be supportive and make sure that you show up in the way that they need you to show up. As and when that happens, it's been a very interesting and learning curve for me. Boys are very different to girls, and especially teenagers. I mean, one of the boys now is dating. I was like, you are dating? Why? Have I seen the girl? I've done a background check. Like, you almost naturally sort of jump into that role and you're very protective of them as well. But yeah, again, I think they're an extension of our family. I think they love us. Again, we equally will look after them and make sure that even if they're far away from home and their parents aren't here day to day, that gap is minimized as much as possible.
What is the price you pay for being a great coach at Saints and the family?
I think I must fix that. I'm not yet a great coach, just a decent coach. Yeah. So the price you pay, you honestly lose a lot of time with family. And I'll give you an example. Next week we go to St. Charles. Tavi's birthday it was on the 21st of April, so obviously she didn't get to celebrate it with her friends. And she's having something at the Clay Cafe. I can't be there. Right? It's a heavy price to pay, and at times it's not a good thing. As much as I've got an understanding wife, it does have an impact on a person at times. Every Saturday I'm gone the whole day. Sunday, depending on whether we've won or lost, the mood depends on that. But it's a massive price to pay. My extended family know. From March to about June, anything on Saturday I can't attend. If you're gonna do something, it's funny, they're trying to find in between us. My sister, and they asked for a 29th of June date. I'm at private schools, I can't be there. I had to call my uncle to say, can we do the following week? So it's almost like having to ask people to accommodate you. And at times it can't happen. Then I must be content with the fact. Continue. My wife may utaya in my absence. But it is tough. I could never do it without obviously my wife understanding. I've spoken to a lot of my coaches who've said, unfortunately, I've broken up with my girlfriend because she doesn't understand what I'm doing. She wants her time, and I'm saying I can't. Unfortunately, it's my job. So I guess I'm blessed in that sense.
Oh, he's a fantastic father. He loves his children beyond. He's very deliberate around spending time with them, the little bit of time that he has outside of rugby. He shows up for school events. He's that dad alongside the netball court, trying to hold himself in, trying to coach, not understanding the rules, thinking they're kicking for touch when they're actually passing. So, I mean, he's there. He'll have, a rugby game on a Saturday. The girls are playing on a Saturday morning. He'll come through, watch them quickly before he goes off to rugby. So he wants to be present here. He shows up. He's also a very strict dad. So the kids know, and Daddy gives you the look and the eye. It's like, well, what have I done? But check yourself. But in that, they understand that the discipline is because it comes from a place of love.
I'm not sure if it makes me a better parent, a better coach, or a better husband. It's about finding time to, if you love something, you make time for it, right? I love my wife, therefore I make time for it. I love my children, I make time for it. I love rugby, I make time for it, right? And at times you incorporate the three. They are almost every home game they're here. So we make it a family thing after games. So they know in the morning. So once morning till 2, nothing. I don't want any calls. We'll talk later. But from then, they're at the game. From there, they go to high ground. They come to coaching's functions, and that's it, right? So we've almost found our way of making it work as a family, right? Rather than Saturday being a rugby day, they come to the rugby matches. They come to the coaches' functions, and obviously we're blessed to be on this campus. The kids can play. They come to a rugby game, they can play on the field, and it's not a big thing. They enjoy it. So you almost have to make time, right? The date nights must be there. The yes days. For the kids want apparently a father and daughter yes day, and I'm saying yes to everything. So you almost have to make it work. I don't think I've mastered it, but I think they appreciate the effort, right? It's not never gonna get it right, but I'm trying. I'm trying.
Why is it important, this job to you? Not just but being here, being around these young guys. You have to wake up every day and do this stuff.
Sure, one, I get to do what I love, but two, I get to have an impact in young men's lives, a positive impact. And I think that for me is a massive tick in the box. That's why it's important. That's why I keep waking up. That's why I'll never stop, irrespective of how tough it gets. It's what keeps me going. Right? I want to see these boys thrive. Not only in the rugby field, in school life, outside school, right? And the boy comes back 30 years, he's a CEO and says, Mr. Shihau, thank you. Thank you. That's all. And it's not even, he doesn't even have to thank you. I'll see them thrive. That's it for me. Can't ask for more. Right? They become the best versions of themselves. And I've done my job.
But when he's there, and when he gives fully. And I did say it's a bit of hard work, yes, because he's a feeler. Everything comes from the heart. He feels every win, he feels every loss. So he's that kind of person. So if he's feeling something, like, allow him to feel. And equally so when he loves, then he loves you fully. He doesn't leave any room for disappointment. Which is a beautiful thing and is a rare thing to find nowadays. Love the guy, think he loves me, think we're okay. It's been good so far.